There may be an ugly downside to the new generation of wildly popular weight loss medications, including the diabetes drug Ozempic and its sister drug Wegovy, which is approved for weight loss. Rare but serious gastrointestinal problems. New research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association focused specifically on non-diabetic patients who took this class of weight loss drugs known as GLP-1s. It found a greater risk of adverse effects compared to a different type of weight loss medication. And according to the study, people who use them had a 9 times higher risk of pancreatitis, more than 4 times higher risk of a bowel obstruction, and a more than 3.5 times higher risk of stomach paralysis. The study indicated that most severe symptoms are rare. Ozempic's website does say side effects can vary widely, from nausea and vomiting to changes in vision and even kidney problems. The popular drugs have been used for years to treat diabetes, but recently a growing number of people have started taking them for weight loss.
I was on it for 3 weeks, and I felt absolutely terrible.
Many other patients say the weight loss benefits far outweigh any discomfort.
I couldn't be happier. I could do a little happy dance.
Novo Nordisk, the company that makes Ozempic and Wegovy, telling NBC News it stands by the safety of its products, which include the possible side effects listed on their labels. The company also noting that much of the data from the study was collected beginning in 2006, before its products were even on the market. Use of the drugs has jumped 300% over the past 3 years, and the boom is showing no signs of slowing. Morgan Stanley estimates 24 million Americans could be taking them by 2035. According to the Wall Street Journal, the trend is something the food industry is watching closely because people who take the drugs feel fuller longer. They quite simply eat less. And industry experts say that means brands may need to adapt.
It reduces the appetite. And so that I could see a return to portion control packaging that was big, almost 2 decades ago.
Back to those side effects, drug maker Novo Nordisk also says patient safety is a top priority, and the company is working closely with the FDA to continuously monitor the safety profile of its medications. Just last week, you may remember, the FDA updated the warning label on Ozempic to warn users of a possible link to serious intestinal blockages. Guys.
All right, Steph, thank you.
Let's get some insight and context from NBC News medical contributor, Dr. Tara Narula. Hi, doctor. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
So, these side effects sound unpleasant and serious. How common are they? How concerned should people be if they're considering using these drugs for weight loss?
Yeah, it's definitely important that we're talking about this, but I want to keep it in perspective. These drugs have been around and treating diabetic patients for over 10 years, and we've really known about a lot of these side effects: bowel obstruction, pancreatitis. In fact, many of them are on the labels for these drugs. The real issue, as Stephanie pointed out in the piece, is what happens when you apply this to a population who is just trying to use this drug to lose weight. Does the risks and benefits, how do you balance those in those scenarios? But the absolute risks, Savannah, are small. So these are rare. We're talking about, for example, with gastroparesis, which is this concept of slowing of stomach emptying. We're talking about going from 0.3% with these non-GLP-1 drugs to 1% with Ozempic, 0.3% to 0.8 or 7% with the other drugs. So these are small increases. Gastroparesis, which is the one that a lot of people are worried about, that's actually how this drug partially works, which is slowing the emptying of the stomach, so it helps you feel fuller longer. The problem is in some people, if it is severe, you will end up with nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, feeling full, bloating. So, it's important we're raising awareness, but we want to keep it in perspective.
I was going to say, because a lot of people who are obese have issues with their heart, their cholesterol, their joints, all of these things on this side of the table. And on that side of the table, you have the things that some folks are worried about. So how do you balance those two?
Well, this is why people should not be getting this drug off the internet. They should not be getting it without sitting down with a healthcare provider who can really talk to you about the risks and the benefits. Are you someone, for example, who has a history of bowel problems or pancreatitis? You probably shouldn't be taking this drug. And do the benefits outweigh? And yes, for obesity, we're talking about cardiovascular risks, cancer risks. So for a lot of people, there is going to be benefit here. But you really want to do it the right way in terms of starting these drugs. Start low. You don't increase until 4 to 6 weeks. You monitor for for side effects. If you need to, you can lower the dose. And this healthcare provider should be talking to you about non-GI risks as well. There are other risks with these drugs, too. And one important thing I want to bring up is the Anesthesiology Society released a statement in June saying patients who take these drugs should stop them a week before any elective procedures. I don't think we've talked about this a lot, but it's for the same reason that they have found that patients, even after fasting for 12, 24 hours, still have food in their stomach when they're going for surgery. So just one thing I think people should be aware of. The more we're studying this, the more we're rolling this out, we are going to see some of these.
Because you got to have an empty stomach for anesthesia so you don't suffocate, essentially.
So that you don't aspirate. So the food comes up and it can go in the lungs and it can damage the lungs.
Dr. Narula, I mean, this is your wheelhouse. You're a cardiologist. I would imagine you have a lot of folks who are coming in asking you about these particular drugs. How many folks are we talking about? What are you advising your patients to do and not do?
Absolutely. I would say probably 40 to 60% of my patients were having these conversations. I mean, so many of my patients struggle with obesity, and many of them want to know about other options besides bariatric surgery and meeting with a nutritionist. They say, I've tried everything, and I can't figure out a way to lose weight. And we know that with these medications, we are seeing benefits in a cardiovascular risk, high-risk population for lowering risk of heart attack and stroke. So there are benefits for those people. So it is important to talk to your doctor about it. It's not for everyone. It may be for you, but really have that conversation.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Narula.
Welcome to the family, by the way,
Yes.
Dr. Narula. Happy you're working here now.
Thank
so much.
you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.